Hello, Portland Timbers fans. It's Angel again. Thank you for tuning in. It's the second episode of this new series I have started. If you haven't checked out my first video, kind of just talk about a couple things that I kind of want to do over the course of making these videos, of getting into the season, all that other stuff. So I won't get too much into detail for that. Just for anybody that's watching the second video, I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can go ahead and check out my first video. Just give me any feedback that you guys might believe that I might be incorrect about on any of the opinions I have made. Even on this video, if you disagree with something, just go ahead and let me know. But I kind of want to just kind of get into what we're going to be talking about today. So today we will be discussing a couple of key matchups I believe that we need to look at, as you know, if like these matchups will definitely let us know if our team is ready to compete this year for a cup. I believe we will. I don't know, for some reason, like these matchups I'm looking at, we perform a lot better against better teams, which maybe we should be looking at the matchups of teams who are not good, and that's when we kind of just let off the gas pedal and struggle. I also want to go over a couple of our theme nights. So we have 4 theme nights this year, and then I kind of just get into more detail about that, so I can kind of explain it a little better to you guys. And at the end of this, I do got some extra information for Portland Timbers fans that live in the Portland area, and that'll be kind of more going over. So the Axe Portraits, Portland Timbers do that every 5 years, started in 2011, and then they cut it 4 years, a little earlier, to 2015. But since 2015, it's been 2015, 2020, and now it's just the 4th time they're doing it, and it's in 2025. So I would definitely take advantage of that, because the next one probably won't be until 2030 unless they decide to change that up. So let's go ahead and hop right straight into it. So we're gonna start off with our theme nights, which is just more of a little celebration nights. I don't think they're actually, we do have a big matchup in one of those 4 nights, in my opinion, that we need to see if we can compete, because it is a good team. So I'll kind of go over those now. So our first theme night is against San Jose Earthquakes on Friday, June 13th. That is the Spirit of 75 night. That is actually our only game on a Friday during the whole season, which is kind of shocking, to be honest, because I do prefer our Saturday games. I know we have a couple Sunday games, but I would assume that they would lean more into having more Friday night games compared to Sunday, being the fact that people have work on Monday, so they usually don't want to go out, or religion stuff that kind of factors in that they don't go out and celebrate. So I'm not looking at it as like a standpoint where they need to fill the arena up to help them win. I kind of don't want to dive too deep into this, because I'm very big on trying to expand the league and make it something bigger. But from a marketing standpoint, I don't think it makes sense. Money wise, gaining revenue. So, but I guess I won't get too deep into that. And then our second theme night will be on July 16th. That will be our 10-year anniversary, celebrating our last MLS Cup. And that is against Real Salt Lake City. And that was the one key match that I really want to look like. I think that we need to win, especially at home, celebrating the MLS Cup. Real Salt Lake City was a good team last year. They are probably going to be another great team this year. Again, they have a lot of great players. So that one's going to be definitely a fun night. And then we actually have a game 3 days following, celebrating our 50th anniversary night, and that's going to be against Minnesota United. That's going to be on Saturday, July 19th. And so, yeah, that's going to be a very busy week. I would like for all Timber fans who are going to be attending those games just to, take into consideration that, people who are going to be working the stands, security, whoever, let's just kind of just make sure their job is a lot easier and not stressing them out, especially with, they're probably going to be doing a lot more than just, scanning tickets, and they're going to be giving things out, I'm pretty sure. And then our 4th theme night will be on August 16th against FC Cincinnati. That is a Saturday, and that's going to be Diego Chara's bobblehead night. So that's going to be very cool to kind of just celebrate Diego Chara's career. He was here with us for our MLS Cup. He's pretty much, he is our captain. He is our enforcer. So, it's definitely cool to see Portland kind of just give him his flowers and show their appreciation for him. We just signed him against another year contract, and it's just cool to from just like seeing a club take care of their players and really show appreciation. So, bravos to Portland Timbers for that. And so that's pretty much wraps up our theme night discussion. If you guys really don't attend too many Portland Timbers fans or Timbers games, I would definitely suggest out of all those, the real Salt Lake City game. Like we have to we have to win on that night. You cannot there's no if no buts, and that's just it's a must win game celebrating the MLS Cup that we won 10 years ago, and it's against one of the better teams in the league. And so now I'm gonna go over our Cascadia Cup matchups, and luckily we won the Cascadia Cup last year. We won it in Seattle, so that made it even a lot better, sweeter. Shout out to my guy Anthony, my favorite player. He ended up scoring that game to tie it up and make sure we brought that cup home. So our first matchup for this year's Cascadia Cup games will be against Vancouver Whitecaps on Sunday, February 23rd. That is going to be our first home game, first opener, first game overall. So that's kind of cool to see how we're going to be attacking things right away in the beginning of the season. We'll see if we're on track and we made changes. From a free agency or transfer standpoint, we haven't made a lot of changes. And, I kind of discussed that in that last video. But pretty much is we need to bulk up our defense. Our defense is our biggest issue. It's not our offense. We have multiple scoring options. We have, Santiago Moreno. I kind of discussed him a little bit last video, comparing him to Anthony, who I believe is better. But I'm not going to do it this time. I'm just going to go over Santiago's a threat at scoring. So is Anthony when he gets to the game. And especially our main three guys, Jonathan Rodriguez, Evander, and Felipe Mora. So our offense has never been an issue. And I said it 1,000 times last video. I'll probably just say it a couple times this video. I don't want to go too much over it. And then our second matchup is against who else? Those dudes up north that we can't stand. It's going to be against Seattle Sounders on Saturday, May 17th. And I would, if you can get a ticket, get a ticket. We all know how those Timbers versus Sounders games get. We know how much, I wouldn't say really hate each other. It's just passion. It's a rivalry, both sides talk their mess. So it's kind of a cool thing to see. Obviously, the Portland Timbers have won more matchups against Seattle overall in both teams' history. So I guess we got that, and we won the Cascadia Cup in their home field event or in their territory last year. So what you guys can say, we won those matchups. And yeah, definitely that's gonna be a big game. And so we have our second away game against Vancouver again. That will be on Saturday, May 31st. And we'll see how Portland kind of just pars up to playing away compared to home. We'll definitely win both of those home games. When we play against Seattle, we've always, I don't know, we just take it to the next level. And then Vancouver, yeah, I don't even want to talk. I remembered our last year's matchup at the end of the season. So, we should definitely win those two home games. The away game will be a lot tougher. We'll see how we perform from there. And then our second away game is going to be in Seattle, Saturday, October 4th. And so with that, I kind of would have liked to see Portland play in Portland for the last matchup for the Cascadia Cup, just for the simple fact that we won that matchup, and we did win the cup last year in Seattle. So I feel like the league should have just taken into consideration that, the matchup should have been played in Portland just in case we win it again. So, but it is what it is. And then, so that's pretty much for the Cascadia matchups, anniversary nights. And so I kind of want to just go over this little section where I feel it's kind of important, just for fans who work on weekdays or weekends, they kind of get a better understanding of what games they can go to and how many games there will be. So I'm going to go over our weekday games and weekend games. So we have 2 Wednesday games in the whole season. So if Wednesdays are only days off, and you can make those matchups. You have about 2 games you can attend this year. Friday we only have one, which is kind of disappointing. That's against the San Jose Earthquakes. That's the Spirit of 75 nights. Like I said earlier, that's our one Friday night game. And then we have 10 Saturday games this year, and we have 4 Sunday matchups. What I would have liked to see probably was swap the Friday for the 4, Sunday for the 1. But, it is what it is. Schedule's already set. Like I said, marketing, making money wise, makes more sense to have games on Friday nights. People are out Friday night, Saturday nights, and usually resting Sundays. And so that's pretty much that for that. This is a little section I want to kind of go over, kind of give fans a little better understanding of what games are going to be played or how many games they could probably attend this year. And so I kind of made a list of 5 matchups I believe that we would definitely see if we're good enough to compete this year and make it to the playoffs. So, first matchup is our matchup I already talked about against Vancouver on February 23rd. First game of the season, see how we are. I already talked about that, so I won't say too much. Our last 3 matchups against Vancouver, first one's going to sting to say, but 5-0, Vancouver in Portland for the play-in game. They killed us. And no understanding on that. They just came in, spanked us in our own home, and just took off. So, and then the matchup before that, it was a tie, 1-1. And then the matchup before that, Portland won 2-0. Second matchup for a big game for us is on March 16th. It's Portland Timbers versus LA Galaxy in Portland. Last 3 matchups for those games were Portland won 4-2. And this was literally last year. 4-2 we won. And we all know what LA Galaxy did last year. They won the cup. And so it just shows that we can compete with these bigger teams. Just when we play teams that are not as great, we underestimate them and just perform horribly. Last 4, so I said like the last 4 matches, 4-2 Portland. I'm pretty sure I messed that up, but 3-2 Galaxy, 3-3 tie. So, we can definitely compete with them. And then our next matchup that I believe is big for us is going to be on April 19th. Portland Timbers versus LAFC in Portland. Last 3 matches, Portland lost 2-3. Then we tied up 2-2. And then the last matchup, we won 2-0. So, like I said, LAFC's been one of the top teams in MLS since they kind of joined. And we are obviously able to keep up with them. And then fourth matchup. And so I kind of like listed these 2 because this isn't the same week. And it's kind of going to give us an idea of, like, if we, so like in the playoffs, we play 1 home game, 1 away game. So it kind of gives us like that kind of, I guess you can warm up for playoffs. So first matchup is 5, or I said 5, May 14th, Portland, Oregon, or Portland Timbers versus Real Salt Lake City. I think I messed that up in that city. Real Salt Lake in Utah. Last 3 matchups, Portland versus Salt Lake. Portland and Salt Lake tied 3-3. Portland won 3-0. And then we won 2-1. And the reason why I bring in Salt Lake is because Salt Lake was, I believe top 4. They finished or top 3. Obviously a great team. And then 3 days later, we fly back to Portland and we play Seattle Sounders. That's our first matchup against the Seattle for the Cascadia Cup. So as I was saying, it's kind of giving that like playoff energy. Like, we just played a couple days later. Now we're playing another big matchup against a team that is going to be in the playoffs this year as well. And so that matchup, like I said, is on May 17th against the Sounders in Portland. Last 3 matchups, 1-1. We won the Cascadia Cup that day. 1-0 Portland. 1-2 Seattle. So, I'm really going to look forward to that specific week just for the simple fact of what I said. I don't want to repeat myself too much. And yeah, that's pretty much my takeaways for this year's matches, anniversary nights, and key games I feel like we need to win. We definitely have to win those 5. Honestly, we need to win every single game if possible, which is, that would be pretty crazy to see. But, just take it game by game. And then I have some extra information for Portland fans or Timbers fans who live in Portland, near the Portland area. So this past weekend, the Portland Axe Portraits has started up. Those were for not key members, for specifically this title for them, but pretty much fans who have early access to things. So they already taken their portraits on January 11th to January 12th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is open to the public. So anybody that wants to go and take Axe portrait photos, go ahead and do so. I think it's a little cool thing to do with your family. You guys can kind of repeat it, make it a tradition, or even have the opportunity to be posted onto the Timbers Providence Park. We have seen multiple pictures of all the fans in the past that have taken pictures, and they're on the wall every time you go to the game. You see, we see our matchup, and then you see them. So that's pretty cool thing to see. Why not take the opportunity to maybe that could be you. That could be me. I don't know if I'm gonna go. Kind of a little busy with some things, but yeah. I mean, hopefully you guys take something away from what I said today. Hopefully it was beneficial for you guys. If not, I apologize. But like I said, I'm just doing this for the fun of it. I really enjoy kind of just talking about this show. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I kind of want to just. I haven't officially decided what I want to do, but I know one topic I kind of want to get into is the official debate on